Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to the Boom Bar. My name is Jola Rogers.
And my name is Ola Delukwo. This is the Boom Bar where we give you just about everything happening from sports, entertainment, business, politics, and everything in between. And we do it over drinks. Drinks might be water sometimes, might be some no sometimes, might be coffee sometimes. You know, it's a bar. Anything goes. So, a visual warm welcome this afternoon, and it is 3 p.m. West African time on this side of the world, and we're going to be telling you, be gisting about a few things. There are a few updates of stuff that we talked about yesterday, talking about the APC's announcement of the nomination forms, um, and maybe juxtapose it with a few others. Let's see who's making what, how much some people have made, how much some people are making. Some people are extending theirs even after paying so much. Even after people that have bought, so many people have bought, they seem to want more people in the ring. There's also Premier League. Oh my God! This midweek Premier League games this week has actually been very interesting. Actually, very. There have been very interesting games that you cannot take away from that. We definitely will talk about that in depth. Reactions from yesterday's games, and also somebody's got a new team manager. Yeah, it has been speculations for a while, but I think it's official now. So we definitely will talk about that. A few other things as I was just hinting about 420 yesterday, and for people that know, maybe I'll do a little breakdown about it today because about 100 people are in trouble for that phrase. Let me put it like that, or for that for the reason, the reason for the season.
What season?
It was 420 season yesterday.
Okay.
So some people were, they were in. It looks like they're in trouble for that. And there's a few things and other things that we're going to talk about. There's also gist coming from OAU. I don't know if you saw that gist about another lecturer from OAU again in another very sexual harassment mess as well. So that and a few other things of wife's president or the first lady. Okay, it's not first lady. Inviting aspirants. There's just a lot of people are talking about an interview that Banky W had granted, and a few things that he has said about it. People saying things for and against. News coming from what's it called? The Taliban in Afghanistan. Actually, there's a lot of gist about that as well. Sadly, there's sad news and some very interesting news coming from Afghanistan. So this and more are stuff we're going to talk about. We hope to actually touch everything, but we definitely will try our best. We definitely would. So on that note, I bid you a warm welcome again, and let's get right into it.
Exactly. Let's dive right into it, and we will start from sports. I presume that's
Yeah.
what
Oh
we
yeah. Oh yeah.
agree.
Oh yeah.
So, and of course, talking about sports, the Lupo made reference to games that were played yesterday.
Oh, there were 4 games played yesterday, so
And of
that
course,
was a lot of
of
games.
all the games that were played, actually, it's the Chelsea versus Arsenal game that is like top notch. It's like on everybody's lips.
Yeah, I
The
think
the results, the
I think a lot of people will have
the
lost a
fight,
lot of money yesterday.
everything. Yeah.
More than, in fact, a lot. The betting companies would have really cashed out yesterday.
Yeah, because
It's very interesting, but you know what? Let's not even get there yet. Um, the first one I think I want to talk about is the Everton Leicester City.
all right.
And would I say you were surprised? I remember talking about it yesterday, and I was like that both of them are not in a very good place now. Leicester is doing a little bit better than Everton, but Leicester too is not doing fantastic at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And then the game ends in 1-1.
Yeah. A fair result, a reflection of where both teams are at the moment.
I agree.
A good result for Everton, who have been on a free fall.
Yeah,
You know,
they are.
and
I think they're 17th on the table, so it's not a very good.
it's at least 1 point on the board for them. For Leicester, you look at how they've been flying in recent times, and this particular season, it seems
I don't know.
like
This season seems to be really, really,
they-
really
they-
bad. They're not doing really good at all.
they don't want to bamper.
They're not chilling with the big boys this season. They're not.
Because a few seasons ago, they were in the top 6, and it led them to Europe and all of that.
Oh yeah.
Look at what's
But
going on now.
I know I would actually still say now. Shout out to Leicester, yeah. But I think that I won't say that them winning the Premier League when they did was streak of luck. I think that they played fantastic that season. I think that a lot of other teams, or would we say the Big Six or so, a lot of these other teams took them for granted, and unfortunately, by the time the rest were going to wake up, it was too late. I think they were fantastic that season, but I also really, really never saw them as keeping up that momentum. I think it was a one-off thing. It might happen in nearest future, but I don't see. I won't say. Also, I did not see them to be this bad. In my mind, I felt that they're like a team like, I'll say like Wolves, West Ham, that they hover between like 7th and to 10th, 12th. They're not doing badly, but they're not all that. And if you really want to get something out, those teams are the teams to beat, because those teams don't get to the top, but they're always your spoilers. Yeah, so that was what I thought Leicester would be.
Well, that's what they've been until this season. It's just really sad that they are struggling.
Yeah, they're really,
I
really
have
struggling.
a bias
actually.
for that team, because there's 3 members of the Nigerian Super Eagles
Yeah.
playing for them, and 1 or 2 other African players. So I kind of have a soft spot for them from that African perspective. So, but at least I know that they are not going to go on relegation.
They're not.
Which is the worst thing that could happen to any top team.
Yeah, any top team. Everton has 3 points above relegation, but anything is possible. There's still a few games to play. They need as many wins as possible. I don't know how they're going to pull that off, but we'll definitely will see.
They have to win all their games now. And
Yeah.
even that might not guarantee them not
Because
dropping,
it also
because
means
the
that the other
too.
teams too have to lose. Another team that I was surprised with yesterday, Newcastle Crystal Palace. And
surprised.
yes, you know why I'm saying I'm surprised is because Crystal Palace this season has not been doing badly at all. They've beat a few people that they should beat.
You will say when they got the new coach, not this season, maybe the second half of this.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, let me put it like that. Yeah, and they've not been doing badly at all. They beat a few clubs that they've done really well. Yeah, and you will not think that, and that's what used to pay me with these clubs, because when it's time to play Arsenal, they even beat Manchester City this season, and then when it's time to play, their issue will be high, and then they are beating people. Yeah, and then it's Newcastle we're talking. Not like Newcastle is that bad, but let's be honest, Newcastle is not that wonderful. And then you let Newcastle beat you. I know it is football, anything is possible. I get that part, but I honestly, if I were to bet, I would have bet on Crystal Palace than Newcastle.
I was impressed with the result. I've been rooting for this team since money came in.
Oh wow, it's all about the money. It's
and
all about the money.
There's something that that they
So-
tweeted that I'm actually trying to read out. It's important statistics that people need to get, and you understand how well they are doing, you know. And that's what I'm actually digging for here. But no matter what happens, they have 40 points now, so at least they are safe. You get?
Oh, Newcastle. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's the benchmark.
That's
You can't have 40 points and go down. I don't think it has ever happened. You get? And that's one of the things that I am really very happy about. So I was actually looking for a particular stat about how they have not lost, I think, 6 games at home on the bounce. Like they've won about 6 games, 5 or 6 games on the bounce, and the last time that happened was like a million years ago.
Yeah.
This is a manager that came in and people felt it wasn't the right fit for the job because it's not a big name in the football game like that. And people are like, okay, you have money, right? They were able to attract a couple of very, very good quality players in the January transfer window, and nobody really. But like, look, okay, they'll probably get the drop. And,
exactly.
But look at where they are now. They are definitely staying up.
Oh, they're not definitely not getting relegated. That one is
they're not going
sure.
down.
Another one that I think that was easy for people to get, but I will not say that it was easy.
Yeah. So I found it. It's a tweet from their official handle. I saw it last night and I just made a mental note about it. It says 6 home wins in a row for the first time since 2003, 2004.
Wow.
You know?
That's good.
St. James's Park is a fortress. That's what they're calling it now. Because they're winning all their home games.
All their home games, yeah.
6 in a row, and if you multiply 6 by 3,
that's 18. That's already 18.
That's something.
That's already something. Definitely something. Another one that was very interesting, but we know that because of the one point difference now, where Man City had dropped a lot of points they were not supposed to drop, in my own opinion, they didn't have a choice but to win yesterday's game. I think it was a do or die affair. They didn't have. It was you're either winning or you're not. It was like one of the games that was deciding what was gonna happen.
All eyes were on 2 games yesterday. Based on the previous day, Liverpool had done the business against Man United with a 4-0 victory. But yesterday, everybody was like watching Chelsea and Arsenal because of the top 4 finish position that Arsenal is trying to get into against Tottenham.
Tottenham. I'm just really like that.
Yeah. Trust me, I don't make mistakes when I do this analysis. Then, on the flip side, Man City. And funny enough, in the first half, it was goalless. They were at home against
Brighton, yeah.
A lowly Brighton.
And that's what I was. That's my issue.
And we had said it yesterday that these guys could be spoilers. It took Man City a long time.
Yeah.
But the stuff of champions. When a champion, kicks into
gear. It started with Mahrez at the 53rd minute.
Yep.
And it was just,
bye blues.
It was It was a very interesting, very, very interesting game. It ended 3-0. They definitely needed that win. And for them...
And every goal counts now.
For them now, it's just 1 point. So I think that they do not have a choice. They have to win every single game now to the end of the season. Or Liverpool drops points.
It's very important.
Which one is going to happen, we don't know. But anybody dropping points will be very, very fatal.
Yeah.
Will be a very, very fatal thing at the moment. And finally, the last game of the day that we're talking about is Chelsea-Arsenal. So Chelsea was at home. The odds were in Chelsea's favor. Let's be honest with ourselves. I'm an Arsenal fan, but I've seen Chelsea play a lot. Chelsea is a way better team, is a way better put together team than Arsenal. It's the truth of the matter. They even have a better coach. Let's be honest. I saw a tweet yesterday where I think that it finally summarizes what I've been saying all this while. And it was, I think the person said, Arteta knows what to do not to get himself sacked, but he's still not the one, and that's it for me. Like, I'm not saying he's not doing the job, but I don't think he's the one that Arsenal needs. But all in all, they ended up beating Chelsea at home 4-2. I don't think anybody saw that coming.
Except you're a diehard Arsenal fan. I know one or two of them out there who would have predicted correctly. One of my friends, Bimbo, I already saw him tweeting. And there are very few people. A lot of people were like, "Oh, look, they know that they're in for a very, very."
Yeah, I
very,
didn't
very,
see
very
that coming.
Feisty.
The game started
and thirsty and crazy experience.
Yeah.
People had already written the Arsenal off, even Arsenal fans and whatever. But the thing is, like you said, the game started in a very interesting
very interesting game. I didn't even expect this many goals.
And of course, and it was a ding-dong affair in the first half.
Yeah.
Like, you score, I score.
You score, I score. Yeah.
Because I remember when Arsenal scored, and I just looked away. I did one or two things, and I looked back on the screen, and it's 1-1.
And it was
like,
what's happening
what's
here?
happened? It was like a 5-minute interval, and there was a goal.
Yeah.
Then the next thing again, Arsenal got another goal. And before you know it, another 5-minute interval, boom. Chelsea.
Like, what's happening here?
4-goal thriller. Everybody's like, wow, is this what it's going to be like? If the first half is like this, what's the second half going to be like? And I thought that Chelsea were going to change everything in the second half, that they are at home and they're going to bring the battle to Arsenal and all of that. Because, again, Tuchel, the Chelsea coach, I don't understand what was going through his mind putting out that team that he put out.
I think there was a little bit of underrating Arsenal yesterday.
Not a little.
I think he had written them off, and he paid dearly for it.
I'm sorry, I've been watching Chelsea off and on this season. There's some guy I saw, I'm like, okay, who is this one?
Who's this person again? Yeah.
Sa or something. I'm like,
Yeah.
Who are you?
Who are you?
Where did he come from? You know? And they had that guy there, and I'm like, okay, is Rudiger injured or what's going on with the other players and all of that?
Yeah, I think there was a little bit of letdown. They thought that it was going to be a walkover.
You must while trying to analyze what went wrong with Chelsea, you must not lose sight of what went right with Arsenal.
With Arsenal, you know, I saw.
We need to be careful. A lot of times we focus on the negatives and forget the positives. The positive is that Arsenal were the away team.
Yep.
Playing a top team like Chelsea, European champions. Hosting, come on.
Yeah, I think that
these guys
they came ready and they came prepared. And I saw after the match there was an interview with Arteta, and he said they were asking about Nketiah, and he says that after yesterday's match, he felt like he has been unfair to him.
Yeah.
Because that guy was fire yesterday.
And
he,
you know,
he stepped up and he was
Eddie Nketiah with the brace, and the kind of goals that he scored again. You're like, okay, why don't they trust this guy enough
to start him all the time? Yeah.
And you see, and that's where
because you see him a lot in FA Cup, and you know you don't really see him like your everyday team. And I think from when we started seeing him, he's done a lot for himself.
Yeah. So and that's where the problem lies. You have not given Nketiah enough playing time. You let Aubameyang go. And Lacazette doesn't seem to be cutting it.
Oh, yeah. He came in 2 minutes to the end of the game.
And the fear now.
And they had already done the work.
If you listen to Nketiah's interview, the fear now is that there's a possibility of this young man moving on in the summer. You know?
This is someone that looks like he's just beginning to...
His new deal is not done and dusted. And this is...
This kind of person you need.
With Arsenal, like,
it's the kind of person with the fire.
You let them get away just when they're about to
come into their own. Yeah.
And man, I don't get it. I hope that the Arsenal will sort themselves out because I know they are shopping for a striker. There are talks of Osimhen and Nunes and all of those players, but what about Nketiah? Yeah, I know a lot of Arsenal fans will be like, no, he's not. Okay.
No.
If he's not
the person I saw this, but
let him go.
No. I think that it will be a very dumb thing for Arsenal to let this person go. With the, I won't say flashes of greatness, because that was not flash. It wasn't a flash. It was beautiful football that he played yesterday.
And of course, you must not forget to mention
Emil Smith Rowe. That boy.
ASR is a beautiful footballer. He's intelligent.
And it's interesting that
he's
it's this
running,
young stars
he's very
that
intelligent.
yeah.
He's very, very intelligent. Then Saka.
No, it was just, it was the icing on the cake.
Saka can be rude. He didn't even have respect for that uncle that he was playing against.
There's conversation about what came about the penalty. About how he was barely touched and Bukayo Saka was already on the floor. I watched that thing, going back to watch it like 3-4 times, and I'm like, okay, why are you on the floor so fast? Like, a part of me is
so
always
what happened to VAR? There's VAR.
They didn't use it. There
was no light. There was no data. Or the VAR people did not go to work yesterday. People should move on, man. Look, yeah, maybe it was a soft penalty.
I think it was. But I honestly think it was.
Don't dwell on those things and don't use them as an excuse.
Because anyway, as at the time the penalty was being taken, the game was about to end.
And what was the score?
And it was 3-2 anyway, so it was still going to be a loss for Chelsea. And before we leave Chelsea's story, the Chelsea coach, Thomas Tuchel, has also come up with a very interesting angle to what happened yesterday. And he said, and I quote, "I have to say, the pitch is difficult to play here. Maybe sounds like an excuse, but it's a very difficult pitch that we have here." And I'm wondering, okay, so all the games that we played, that you won at home, it wasn't the same. I didn't know that Stamford Bridge was just rebuilt.
No, it was last night, the night before.
Like, you hear these things from Nigerian coaches. It's Nigerian coaches I hear this a lot from.
No, we don't say that.
Oh,
Nigerian
yes,
coaches don't use such excuses because they all know that they don't have fantastic stadiums, so they don't even need to bring it up. I think that Tuchel's excuse is pathetic. It's sad and shameful, and I think he shouldn't have said it, because now you are the manager of the team. You're not just the coach that picks the team. You are the manager. A lot of people report to you, and you have direct access to the board or whoever is in charge and all of that. So I remember when Jose Mourinho was at Stamford Bridge. Now, Tuchel might be making some sense. Let's get this. There was a time that Jose Mourinho is believed, to have allowed the grass at Stamford Bridge grow past a certain level.
Why?
Because of the opposition that they were going to play. And it didn't allow for the ball to flow as much as it should. There was some kind of crazy tactics that he came up with. Because at times when you listen to some of these managers, they'll tell you how high the grass should be, the height and all of that. So there was this story about how Mourinho deliberately let the grass grow at Stamford Bridge to a certain level just because it was going to affect the other team. And of course his team was training on it, so they already knew how to handle it. But now reverse it.
It's your
Arsenal
pitch.
It's your pitch. They only came in that day to play.
Do you get?
So how come you opened your eyes and you guys did not maintain your pitch enough to the level that it should be on? 2, if the pitch was really, really that bad, I'm sure that the FA would have said something about it. You get? 3, on that same bad pitch, Arsenal scored 4 goals. And your team still scored 2.
You still scored 2
from
goals.
Open play. 2 beautiful goals from Chelsea. So your excuses about the pitch do not hold water.
I don't think it does
in any way whatsoever. There are times when you just keep quiet and accept your L. Like,
okay, this
L,
one, you just you got it, and then move on from it. So this I think those are the games for the Premier League games for this week. Before we move on from sports, Manchester United has a brand new coach.
Yeah. It's the worst kept secret in the world of football. Erik Ten Hag has been linked to Man United for years, even before it became this big at
Ajax.
At Ajax. It was always one of those names that were being bandied about. But in recent times, he has shown how good of a coach he is, and he had a meeting with them a couple of weeks ago, but they said they were going to meet with other people, and it looks like after considering the Warlock pin from Liverpool and all the other things.
I don't like that word. Is very, but let's be honest. Did they ever think? I'm sorry. Shout out to Manchester United players, yeah, and the team, but did you think you were going to beat Liverpool?
It's possible. It's football.
Okay.
It's football. You said that Newcastle beat Man City. Did you ever think it was going to happen? It's football. See, player for player, you will not be able to say these things if this team had played as a team. But they're a team in the doldrums.
They're not that wonderful, though.
As I don't get what you're saying.
Manchester United is not that wonderful.
This current team.
Yes.
Player for player.
Yes.
Paul Pogba.
They're not doing anything. It's about the names.
At the moment.
It's just about the names.
Okay, so
if you cannot translate
back to
who you are into goals, what's the point?
So I like your angle to it. So back to what I was saying, which is what I said, that they're a team in the doldrums. You're the one that's throwing spanners by saying did they think they were going to beat Liverpool? When people say that, I wonder, like, okay, do you really watch football for you to say what you said? Because if you watch football, you know that anything can happen anytime, anywhere. Did you think that Arsenal was going to beat Chelsea yesterday? Tell me.
No,
did you?
Actually.
So what are you saying? Oh, Arsenal is wonderful. Or Arsenal is better than Chelsea. No, they're not. But it's football. So football could have happened. But with Man United, it's not going to happen. Not this season. It's not, because the team is completely in shambles. They had some pretender and put him there. And I said this when they got Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I said it on national TV. I said it everywhere. I said, this guy is not the guy for the job.
It's not.
And it's like giving a Rolls Royce to a baby. Babies are still learning how to walk, then run, before they even learn how to drive. And now you're giving him a Rolls Royce. He's going to crash it. And that's what he did. He spent over 400 million pounds. And what did he do? He just bought and bought and bought. But he didn't get the right fit. He didn't get the right team. So when someone says Jadon Sancho is world class. Leave the story behind and face the facts. Jadon Sancho is world class.
Easy.
Jadon Sancho.
Maybe before he got to Manchester United.
Jadon Sancho is world class. Let's leave our biases aside. That's the beauty of what we do here. We are able to look at these things. Jadon Sancho is world class. But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know what he wants. So he's going after players based on hype and whatever.
Okay, but now he's left a few months.
You think it's funny how people say he's left. You think what he did can be undone in a few months?
Okay, very true though.
The recruitment, the man in charge of scouting for Man United just left 2 days ago after 16 years. And I'm saying to myself, you are part of the problem. What were you doing there for 16 years?
16 years.
What exactly were you recruiting? So, look, Ole is not the only problem, but Ole is the major problem. The owners of the club have milked that team dry. All of them is take money, and they just throw a few big players at you every transfer window because they don't really care about it.
So it's about the money.
It's about the money. As compared to Chelsea's owner, who cares more about the success of his club than his money, because the club is owing him billions of naira. They can't repay him. He's written it off now as a bad debt. Can the Glazers write off any debt? No. They put all their debts on Man United. And that's where the real problem is. The owners were all about the business. So all they wanted was just do well in the season, and money will come.
Money will come in.
Just do well.
To attract
you don't even need to win the league.
sponsors.
Just make sure you're in the top 4. Make sure you play Champions League or Europa, and money will keep coming. It's such a big club. It's the biggest club in the world when it comes to business and other things. No matter how crazy things have been for them on the pitch, go and look at the business that they are doing.
Oh yeah.
So the business side of things, these guys are doing well, regardless of the BS that's happening on the pitch. So, like I say again, it's a club in the doldrums. They are the lowest of all lows, and it's because of the owners and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Those are the people who killed the club. The next set of people are, and Erik Ten Hag. I hope someone shows you this video. Beware of Paul Scholes, Rio Ferdinand,
Alex Ferguson.
and no.
He's not.
No.
That
I would
he's
never
doing too much.
No, can you say that on your own? Let me finish what I'm saying. Let me, so you don't put Fergie in this mix. Fergie is not the problem.
Okay.
The people who are the problem. Beware of Rio Ferdinand, Paul Scholes, and Gary Neville. These guys kept on saying Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was doing a great job. They kept on saying it, and now they see the damage that he has done, and people want to pin it on Ralph Rangnick. No, it's not Rangnick's fault. It is the result of the nonsense that Solskjaer has done. So those guys, you see what
So
they
we're
do.
saying that Rangnick is not a bad coach.
He's not
doing.
He is not. Is he going to enter the pitch? He's not a bad coach. Now, how can you inherit this terrible morale and this demoralized team halfway into the season, and you expect them to do
Okay,
what?
but a few minutes ago, we're still talking about Newcastle and how they got.
And how battered were Newcastle? How battered were they?
They were getting
How
close to.
how bastardized were
They were getting close to being relegated.
Getting close to being relegated as compared to United that finished, has always finished in the top 4. It's not the same. It's not the same scenario at all. Newcastle got new money coming in, and they bought some top players in January. Man United is finding out to attract the kind of players that they want, because players are saying, nah, I don't want to go there. Paul Pogba didn't sign a new deal. He's living on the free.
But they attracted what's it called? Ronaldo.
They attracted Ronaldo. Ronaldo came back home. Did Ronaldo come back for money? Was it about the money? I'm talking about Newcastle attracting players because they had money.
They have money.
Are you saying Ronaldo came because of the money? City were rumored to have offered him a bigger pay packet, and he chose Man United. He went back home. That's you see it's two different things. Even if we're talking football and we're talking Premiership. So let me repeat for clarity, because it looks like my voice is being misconstrued and drowned out. Man United are a team in the doldrums. They do not have a good management in place. Not coaching now. I'm talking about ownership structure.
Yeah.
I'm talking about how the former players feel that they know so much that they cause problems for every coach. And this is why I said Erik Ten Hag should be should be wary of Gary Neville, Rio Ferdinand, and Paul Scholes. I didn't mention the other Roy Keane. I didn't mention Keane. I mentioned those three because they played with Solskjaer. They came for Mourinho. They destroyed Mourinho's achievement. This is a Mourinho that won Europa.
Yeah, this is a Mourinho that won Europa with the
finished second in the league.
Yeah, with the
he won 3 trophies.
With the least team that they had. And remember that I remember there was a conversation that I saw where Mourinho said that he won this and this and this with the team that I had,
with this team,
and that
not even as strong as
not
this
as
one.
strong as it, and that he's sure that that's the best that they're ever going to have.
And when he said it, everybody came for him.
But here we are.
Mourinho played the Europa finals with about 5 players on crutches.
Yeah,
go and look for that picture. It's online. You see, Eric Bailly, all of them. They were injured.
But here we are now.
So
they actually never beat that.
What I am saying, that you had coaches who were winning trophies. They kicked them out. Oh, they were not playing the United way. They brought Mourinho. He's playing negative football. The man won 3 trophies. He played negative football.
Now you ain't got nothing.
You're only gonna Solskjaer that is playing the United way. Which someone needs to explain to me what it is.
What's it?
Did not win anything. They said, oh, you made it to finals. Okay, is that an achievement? What did he get? Nothing. So I know what I'm saying when I'm saying these things. Erik Ten Hag, now back to the real matter. Erik Ten Hag is going to be an amazing coach because he has told them he wants a free hand.
I hope so. I hope he gets what he wants.
He's going to be an amazing coach because he has told them he wants a free hand, and that's why he didn't sign the deal immediately with them. That's one. Two, he has told them he needs time to rebuild. So no immediate success. Nobody's saying the pressure you have to qualify for Champions League and what. No, just give him 2 to 3 seasons to rebuild. 3, Ten Hag arriving means there's going to be a clear out. There's going to be at least 7 to 10 players who will leave, who have to go. Apart from the fact that they have to go, Lingard's contract is up. Pogba's contract is up. Yeah. Cavani's contract is up. So at least you have 3 players who are already gone. Matic announced last week that he was leaving a year ahead of the end of his contract. So already 4 players are sure to leave. So that's why I said he is going to be successful, because it will take time. And now everybody has to dumb down and understand that they're not the team that they used to be.
And I think that's also the problem, is that he's living in past glory. Let's live in the now. You are not that team. You can be at some point, but you are not. And I think that's the issue that they need to deal with. Basically, that's it for me. But we'll see how all this works. How all this is definitely going to play out. And finally, before we leave Premier League issues, today the news popped up that Lewis Hamilton, the Formula One driver, and Serena Williams are also included in the UK bid to buy Chelsea. And I think it's very interesting, when there's a lot of people involved in buying this club or having a stake in this club. The only issue that I have is that what is it going to mean for the club? It doesn't mean that because not everybody is Roman Abramovich. The man was definitely, I think, is still very dedicated to the Chelsea club. A lot of these other people, is it not going to be all about business? Which we know that those things definitely affect clubs. Will they get the kind of dedication that they got from Roman Abramovich? That's my issue.
Well, at times I think it's just name dropping when they say Serena and Lewis Hamilton want to buy Chelsea. They just joined a consortium, like it's a large group of people and all of that, and maybe they're just going to be putting in the money, and they'll probably want to leverage on their image and all of that, you get. And there are always different type of investors. There are the angel investors, and of course there are the glazers, and the cronkers of this world. You understand who are about their money? They don't send your papa, man. Whatever consortium or group comes in to buy Chelsea is not the issue. The issue is what type of management that they put in place. If you have a good chief executive officer and a good director of football who understand the whole structure of the team and the league, then they'll probably be successful. But they might not be able to function the way Chelsea has functioned in the last 10 or so years, because Roman was a hands-on person. Roman Abramovich would hire and fire without consulting anybody.
Yeah.
And it worked for him. It worked. For every time he fired someone, the next guy is coming in to be successful. And once they drop, he fires them again. He's hiring and firing, because he was the sole owner. So now with the consortium of owners, now with the board in place and everything, which is good for the structure of football, because you don't want to be tied to the apron strings of one person. I've always advocated for community ownership, actually, not even this consortium structure, But as business people, I hope they just put the right kind of structure in place, because the Chelsea brand is now a very big brand. Before Roman, they were just there.
They were just there.
That's
Yeah.
the truth.
Yeah.
They were just there. The only reason why Nigerians would talk about Chelsea then was because of Celestine Babayaro, who was playing for them. Apart from that, trust me, nobody
There
cared.
was really not that
But
much of an
Roman
issue.
brought, a lot of investments and attention to them.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a new yardstick and parameter that they will be judged by. I hope that they will be able to live up
They definitely
for the
live
sake
up
of their
to that.
fans.
Okay, so let's move off sports. Wow, we spent a lot of time on sports today, and one very interesting thing I want to talk about. Yeah, we're going to talk about the APC nomination form. We know it came out yesterday. A lot of people, everybody was talking about it. That, okay, what's happening with the 100 million naira thing? That's one. Then we said that we're going to juxtapose it to a few others and what a lot of people have been talking about. But before we get to that, I spoke about something yesterday, and I was just in passing. Didn't know there was going to be some drama about it today. And I was saying that yesterday was 420.
Mm-hmm.
And that people that understood 420 day. And that same yesterday, some set of people in Abuja decided to have a 420 party. Basically, what it means that they had a weed party yesterday.
Nobody heard that part. You trailed off.
A weed party.
Thank you.
So
Weed, as in, the substance that is banned.
So
in
basically,
Nigeria.
that's what 420 is.
Marijuana.
Really. It's a day that is used to celebrate that. And someone had tweeted, I saw that tweet very early this morning, that they were at a party and how the police had come to raid them, and there were over 100 of them, and that is hoping that they get released. That I think people should come to their aid or something very funny like that. And of course, I was a lot of people were funny enough. It was a very interesting thread, yeah, because I didn't even expect that much smartness from a lot of people. Didn't put it like that. And what most people on that thread were saying, which I totally agree with, was, except you are very dumb, yeah, which it seemed to be that they were, the police knows these things, like they know these things. Then you decide to have a weed party on a day as called 420. You said you went to a 420 party.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think was going to happen? Like, and then we all know, because it seems like some people don't know. Let me put it out there. Weed, marijuana, cannabis, all that in that, whatever it is that what you want to call it, is banned in Nigeria.
Yeah.
It is illegal in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Then you decide to have a party where that is the theme of your party, which is supposed to be a date that is known globally, and then you think that there's not going to be some form of raid. What were you thinking?
Yeah, well, they probably would have gotten away with it. There's several parties that happen that has to do with things that are banned in Nigeria, and people get away with it, Dolupo.
I even feel, no, I'm not saying that people don't get away with it. Maybe if it wasn't yesterday, it probably would have been easier to get away with. I'm sure that I think that the police will probably be on the prowl looking for things like that yesterday.
Well, I hope that as on top of it, as you point out, that they will be on the prowl looking for stuff like that, because trust me, a lot of them still don't know what 420 is, or 4/20, as the case may be. A lot of them still don't know. A lot of people watching us now or listening to us still don't know what it means. And that's why I said yesterday about codes and stuff, So yeah, I think you're in this particular one. As much as I like to respect the police, I think you're overrating them.
So the NDLEA says, according to them, that they raided this hemp party in the Asokoro area of the Federal Capital Territory.
And you know where Asokoro is?
Yeah. So they claim that according to the spokesperson, The party was organized by 3 ladies. Oh, they even know who organized it. Shout out to the people that somebody somewhere is part of that whole. I'm sure that somebody somewhere was the one that leaked that whole thing. So they said that the party was organized by 3 ladies. They're in custody and they will issue a statement that even though the NDLA did not confirm the number of suspects, one of the victims had tweeted that there were over 100 of them. Oh my God. It's very interesting. It's
The guy tweeted again
oh God.
that they were at the office now and blah. And I looked at him. I've checked his timeline. He hasn't tweeted since that time. The 2 tweets were the last tweets that he has put out. Because one, they would have tracked him from that crowd to say, the guy, there's someone tweeting here.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
They'll pick him up and put him, separate him and all of that. Then again, even if you do not want to realize it, I know like Tolupo was giving the police a lot of credit for being on top of it when it comes to
more like NDLEA. Sorry, more like NDLEA.
Thank you. But I want to also cut them some slack. I say, okay, let me redirect what I meant. You use the same platform to complain to them. You tag the PRO police headquarters.
Mm-hmm.
You tag the state PROs. You tag the NDLEA too. Then you're also using the same platform to advertise your weed party.
Exactly.
And you think that they are going to sleep.
They're going to just look through it. Yeah.
Then you're having the party at Asokoro. Come on, look. If you understand Abuja very well, I know. Someone even cracked a joke that it was because they invited some people from a particular area.
Yeah.
In Abuja and all of that. But no matter what it is, as much as we all like to have fun and do a lot of things,
I think that we should just.
I always say, what does the law say
yes,
about it?
stay on the side of caution. Like
If the NDLA decide to do their job, which I hope they do,
some people
the
are
organizers
going to jail.
of this party at least
Are going to jail.
But then again,
Which
it's Nigeria.
basically, you
can't really vouch for anything.
let's just calm down. Like really, let's just calm down. At times, just use common sense, because even if you end up getting released, you're probably put for like 24 hours or more. You're probably put in a very uncomfortable place. Do you understand? Even the number of hours you spend there at all would mess with your mind. There's some things that is not it's better not to even be involved in the first place. Even if it's that there will be some I through the guys thread, there's people talking about how the security operatives are going to make money from bail. Even if it's looking at it from the angle that you don't want to give anybody any money. Let's really just, let's just think about the things that we do before we do them. And okay, so let's move on from that. And we're moving back to something that we talked about yesterday. There was an announcement made yesterday by the ruling party in All Progressives Congress that their presidential nomination forms was I think something of interest is 30 million. Anyway, the nomination expression of interest and nomination form together was 100 million naira. And the whole social media went agog. In fact, it is still trending up until right now. 100 million is still trending. And people have gone for and against this matter. In fact, one person's form has already been paid for as at today. Someone has already paid for
not paid for, but will be paid for.
Yes, since the forms have not been, it's not out yet. I think it's not
I think they're going to start selling
in a few days time. So someone already has somebody to sponsor his form for him already, has already put that out there. There's been a lot of talk back and forth, who can afford it, who cannot afford it, back and forth. And there's also the conversation where we had yesterday where there's rebates for people under the age of 40, which a particular person seems to fall under that category. Someone that wants to be Nigerian president falls under that category. Also, the talks about how women and physically challenged people are getting these forms for free. But the main talk that everybody's talking about is 100 million naira presidential forms. And everybody's talking about why is it that expensive? They're juxtaposing it to when President Muhammad Buhari wanted to be president in 2015, about how he said that he did not have the money, and I think they said he got a loan, or some people was a crowdfunding thing that paid for his fees. So now, why is it people are talking about it? Why is it that expensive now?
I said it yesterday, and I'm going to say it again. I think asking people to pay 100 million naira is immoral. I repeat it.
For PayPal, you are not going to win. There's at least a 70%, no, 90% chance.
Whatever statistics that she comes up with, it's immoral to ask anybody to pay 100 million in the country with the way things are going in Nigeria. A lot of people are struggling, and we hope that government policies will make life easier for us. Businesses are dying by the day because power generation is a problem. Generation, distribution, and whatever. Bottom line is people don't have power. And if you don't have power, you cannot do business. So cottage industries are suffering. SMEs and whatever you want to call them, they are struggling and suffering. Students are at home because the pressure group called ASO, another band of people that I do not like, and the government have decided to play what we call tinko tinko with people's futures. So all of that is there. There's the issue of insecurity and all of that. I know the government is trying its best, but they have not done enough. They can do more. Then you boldly state that one individual
has to drop
100 million naira. I believe it is wrong.
But can I say something to that, a little different from that? At least almost everybody that means anything in the APC was at their NEC meeting yesterday. And I'm guessing it wasn't a veto thing. It was a consensus. So whoever was going to pay, or let's say most of the people that wanted to pick up those forms, agreed to that amount of money.
Okay, so can I follow your logic and say all we need now to do anything and feel good about it is to have stakeholders agree and neglect all the extenuating and other.
But it's a party thing. I'm looking at you. I'm not looking from another angle. It's a party thing. It's their party business.
And that party is not a Nigerian party.
But it's a party thing.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with INEC. It has nothing to do with. They agree. The EXCO,
my future
the
and
National
my life
Executive Council agreed to it.
I'm not trying to get into this argument. I'm just asking you. It's a party thing. And when the winner emerges, is the person going to ask for my vote?
Yeah, that's after he has paid. And
is the winner of this party thing going to ask for my vote?
Yeah.
Then I can say what I want to say. I am a stakeholder too, and I believe it is immoral. So the fact that they got together and agreed that 100 million is okay is immoral. It shows how morally bankrupt everybody in that hall is, that agreed that with the way things are going in this country, the only way they can do it is to ask presidential candidates to pay 100 million.
To pay 100 million naira.
It
now,
is
talking about 100 million.
In a country that a dollar is about 600 naira.
It's 400 and something.
No, it is not. It is not.
Black market.
Oh, yes, you say black market, but who is getting it? Who has access to it? The only way you can buy Forex now, is if you are traveling and you have visas. And people are doing business. I buy things online. You buy things online. It's not everybody that they are going to allow to pay. The people who bring in cars to sell, for instance, they don't sell to you at the value of the black market. I mean, at the value of the CBN rate. Oh, you tell someone that brings a car in from America now, even if he probably got Forex from CBN, does it sell at that value? The people who sell makeup, that sell everything that's imported in Nigeria, do they sell at the black? Why do we even have to rate Nigeria?
That was a question for CBN.
Why don't we have one rate like every other country?
That's a question for
So
CBN.
it is immoral. I repeat. I just wanted to gloss over it, but because you brought it into a party thing, I would emphasize my opinion as a Nigerian, a card-carrying member of the Nigerian People's Party, which does not exist. It doesn't exist, but a stakeholder in the Nigerian business and contraction.
Okay.
I believe that asking people to pay 100 million and that 40 million from PDP is immoral.
Okay, so talking about that, before we leave the 100 million talk, the women leader for the APC had come out yesterday and talked about how she feels that anybody that is under 40 that has gotten a 50% rebate of whatever form it is, if you want to be president in Nigeria, should be able to come up with 50 million naira. And that you don't have to use your money, you could get people to crowdfund, but that if people do not believe in you enough for you to get 50 million, for them to give you 50 million naira, then what are we talking about? How do you want to be president of Nigeria?
You know, how do you determine the value of these positions? How do you come to a price? How do you place a value on it?
I don't know, but well, I know that for we were here yesterday when we saw like a whole thread where I think the APC's presidential or tickets have always been pretty exorbitant compared to everybody else.
How do you?
Do they come up with it?
Yeah,
that one I don't know.
Because it's still just a group of people, like you pointed out. They sit down and put a price on something, and other people do not complain.
Because for me,
what I'm saying, and this is my belief, and let me have my minute. They shouldn't be selling these forms at all. They should be screening people based on their competence and their ability to network and garner support and show us what they're going to do. Because if $1 has 100 million, it will scale.
And can also
it will
get
scale to
and
the
can
next
also
one. And if
win
you can
the
buy
primary
delegates. So what are we saying?
It's very, very interesting.
How interesting is it that it's because of money that some people will get to where they are getting?
Yeah,
and the people who have brain cannot get anywhere.
Looks like it's a money thing.
They should stop selling these forms.
It really is a money thing, you know. I'm talking about it yesterday. You know, yesterday we had talked about how the APC had said that there was not going to be a consensus way of picking their presidential candidate, that he was going to be indirect primaries. But also there was now another one that talk that came out yesterday evening that they had not decided on who it was, on who they were going to, how they were going to pick it. So now we don't know. After all these 100 million naira tickets, what if it now ends up being a consensus? Do they return those 100 millions to those other people?
Like you said, it's a party thing.
Oh yes, okay. So that's their headache, right?
My problem is that you are the ruling party, and things are not easy in Nigeria.
Okay, so finally, before we go, still talking about this, the First Lady, Ms. Aisha Buhari, has officially invited all presidential aspirants from the APC and the PDP, the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, Nyesom Wike, River State Governor, the Vice President, and basically every other person that has come out from the APC and the PDP to an iftar dinner at the presidential villa on Saturday.
What about the other parties? What about the other presidential candidates? Have we already zeroed in and assumed that the next president is coming from APC or PDP? Congratulations to her. It's a nice initiative. I never heard of this before.
Also,
what about the other presidential candidates?
One interesting thing about this invitation is that people are saying that this invitation card also says that they're not supposed to bring their mobile devices along.
None of the people on that list do not know. Virtually everybody on the list of invitees have been to Aso Rock before. They know the protocol.
They know the protocol, yeah.
It's
So
standard practice. It's not new. It's just people. You see, Nigerians play up things because they're. Look, you cannot take a phone into the U.S. embassy.
yeah.
They don't care who you are. You can't bring a phone in. Some people make money from collecting your phone and keeping it until you come out from the embassy. So you can't bring phone into Aso Rock. You can't bring phone into Aso Rock. Down here. Sorry, no selfie.
No selfie, yeah. And on that note, that's all we have to take today on the Boom Bar. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We definitely will be back again tomorrow, but you can catch this on YouTube. Go back, watch it on YouTube. It's Boom Radio UNG on YouTube. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, and we'll be back again tomorrow, 3 p.m. West African time, sharp, for the Friday edition of the Boom Bar. Peace.